Hi, I'm Rudy Pedroza, Presidential with Synergy Worldwide. I just wanted to take a few minutes here to kind of let you know where I began. I just didn't end up here. There wasn't a quantum leap, and all of a sudden I was presidential. There's been a journey, and I think a lot of what we do in life, there is a journey. There's that process that's involved that a lot of people don't see. So let me take you back some years from now. I've been involved in the industry for over 18. In fact, got started when I was 22 years old. I'm now 40, so it's been an 18-year career. It's been fantastic. But the early stages of my life, that was really the molding of where I was going to go and what I was going to do. I come from a very large family. I come from 7 brothers and sisters. I have 3 brothers and 4 sisters. So we had a lot of fun growing up. It was a blast. Imagine those Christmases were amazing, you know. But at a very young age, we had something pretty traumatic that happened to one of my parents. In fact, both my parents, before I go into that, both my parents actually came over from Mexico, and they were immigrants. And they came to the United States, met here, and they decided to get their citizenship, and they did it the correct way, which I'm very proud of, as well as my father is as well, and my entire family. So they got their citizenship, they did it the right way. And you know, something tragic happened when I was 7 years old. My mother, who was pregnant with my youngest sister, Loopy at the time, had always just a history of high blood pressure through every pregnancy that she ever had. And she ended up basically passing away in front of my eyes in our home when I was 7 years old. She went into a coma and never came back. And obviously that was a big traumatic event for me and my family. But we got through it. Obviously, when you're surrounded by siblings and people who love you and care about you, you're able to get through things, tough times like that. And I had a great father who worked really, really hard. I also had a couple of aunts, my father's sisters, that moved in and helped raise us. So they were a tremendous help, and I love them like they were they helped raise us basically, and just so grateful for them and my father and my brothers and sisters and all the hard work that they put in to help get us kids through school and moving on up the ladder of life, so to speak. And if you're anything like me, my father had always taught me, Rudy, he believed, hey, I want you to have a better life than me. I've only got an eighth grade education, and I want you to have better education. I want you to go out there and get a great education, go to college, find a great job, and climb that corporate ladder. I was on that path, doing just that. I was, in fact, in college, and I was in college to play baseball, basically. I got a scholarship. I wasn't a great student. Imagine that in school. I was always the kid kind of looking out the window and dreaming. I was somewhere else. I was really a dreamer. School wasn't my favorite place to be. But I knew I had to do well enough to play sports, and I knew that was the right thing to do, and everybody else was doing that. So I knew I had to, continue to put my head into it and work as hard as I could. Well, I was in college at the time, and my father, who was teaching me all these things, hey, get a good job, climb that corporate ladder, work really hard, worked for a company for over 23 years. And one day he went into work, and everyone there at work got a pink slip. That company was bought and sold. And everyone was told, hey, look, you're losing your job in 2 weeks or a month or what have you. But in essence, you no longer have a job. I know some of you can relate to that. You know someone who's had that happen to them, or maybe it's real personal. You've had it happen to you. And I can tell you it's a shock to the system. To watch my dad at 55 years old trying to replace an income that took him 23 years to get to was tough. Was tough on him, was tough on the family. And obviously any kind of help that I was getting for college evaporated. And so he never replaced that income. So obviously I had a paradigm shift at that moment. I realized that I was going to put all my eggs in one basket and rely solely upon corporate America to take care of myself, to me and my family, and that there had to be a better way. And I think really that's when the entrepreneur spirit was lit for me, and I began to look at different avenues and different directions, and to see where I could go and what I could do. And in fact, since I didn't have help, I started a little DJing business and did some Christmas parties and dances, junior high dances, weddings, things of that nature. And a lady came up to me at one Christmas party, a business Christmas party, and says, you seem like a real go-getter, Rudy. Would you be open to coming in and meeting with our director of our company and coming in for an interview next Tuesday at 7:30? And I thought, heck yeah, I would love that. What a great opportunity. Seems like doors are opening for me, and I didn't even try. So I went to this meeting. And I was kind of in shock, really, because when I went to my interview, there were 25 people in my interview. And that was kind of shocking for me because I thought I was going in for a one-on-one interview. But I stayed there, I walked in there, and I remember saying, you know, I'm here, I might as well listen. So the gentleman said a few key things there that evening that really hit home to me. And I walked into basically my first network marketing opportunity meeting. And since that day, I think I really haven't looked back since that day. I began my journey. I saw a vehicle and an avenue where I could create an income that I only dreamt about before. Because again, remember, I wasn't a great student. I wasn't looking to be a doctor, a lawyer, because I knew in order to really have great incomes at that time, what I understood was you need to be a doctor, you need to be a lawyer. I was just beginning to learn about entrepreneurship. And here's a kid who, first generation immigrant, both parents from Mexico. I wasn't a great student. What avenue could I take? What avenue can I take to make an amazing income? You know what? The only avenue I knew at that time, the vehicle that excited me the most, and I think for the average person, and it's an amazing vehicle, not just for the average person, but for the business person out there. What an amazing vehicle where you can start a kid from ground zero, because they don't teach us in school, right? They don't teach network marketing in school. And where I could go and I can have the ability, if I stuck with it and I was teachable and coachable, that I could create an income that most people only dream about. And I make more money in a month now than most people make all year, which is pretty amazing to say, because I remember hearing those same stories, sitting in that chair that first time when I was 22 years old, thinking, wow, you know what? That would be amazing if I could make that type of income. It was mind-boggling. And so I wasn't a doctor. I wasn't going to go to school to be a doctor. But how long do you need to be in school to become a doctor, right? 10 years. How about a lawyer? You know, a few less years. But you're spending a lot of money to get there. I'll promise you, I spent a lot of money throughout my education in this industry, this amazing industry of network marketing. And I've gone through what I call the school of hard knocks. I learned what to do and what not to do. I've learned what to look for in a company, what needs to be there for not only my success, but the success of others around me who I bring to the table. So it's been an amazing journey along the way. I remember my first venture though. My first venture was you had to invest, well, there's an investment, you know, anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000. And of course, $5,000 is the best way to get started. Well, of course, I wanted to get started the right way. I wanted to get started with $5,000. I was 22 years old. Did I have the money? No, didn't have the money. I was, virtually, broke. I'm a broke college student, right? Did I have the credit? No, didn't have the credit. Did I have the credibility? No, not yet. But I was determined. I was determined to get my start. It's something I really, really wanted, something I believed in. And, you would think a family member would have co-signed on a loan for me. Unfortunately, they couldn't. They weren't in a position to, or they just, hey, it's a big risk, Rudy. That's a lot of money for a 22-year-old kid who's never done a business like this. And gosh, I don't know about this network marketing thing. Well, finally, a family friend decided, in fact, my brother's mother-in-law decided, Rudy, I'm going to co-sign on a loan for you. She was, in fact, she happened to be a Bank of America bank manager at that time, and she said she'd co-sign on the loan. And she did that, and that was really my start. I really had no other way to go but to go. I pretty much burnt my bridge, right? You're putting $5,000 loan on the line. Basically, it came out to $6,000 with taxes and everything else that goes on to it, the interest, etc. And so I started out with a $6,000 loan, got my product, and away I was in business. And I really haven't looked back since. Have there been times and moments in my career that I wondered, did I make the right decisions? When my family, my friends, people that were my age that were climbing up the corporate ladder, getting nice new homes, getting nice new cars, doing things that they, doing things that I guess you do as part of that journey, taking that path of getting the job. And I chose a different path. And I was willing to pay the price early. I didn't know it at the time, that's what I was doing, but I was willing to pay the price early so I could enjoy the benefits later. But kind of going through those school of hard knocks and going through a couple different network marketing companies and realizing kind of what needed to be in place, that's what prepared me to be able to recognize the amazing opportunity with Synergy Worldwide. A few years after a couple different ventures, I met my business partner, Paul Blatt. And at the time, him and I were just coming out of another company that had gone up, just as quickly went down. And we were tired. We were sick and tired of basically having to start all over again. We knew we could build it. We've had success in the past. We both built million-dollar organizations in the past and other companies, but from whatever reason, either the product failed us for some, it wasn't what they were saying it was, the quality assurance wasn't there, or the companies, the management team couldn't handle it. They imploded. Or they were operating so much in the gray area, we didn't know, the FTC came and shut them down. In fact, I have a couple stories there for that one. But so we've gone through that school of hard knocks. We've realized what needs to be in place. So Paul and I got together and we just said, you know what? We're not going to jump. We're not going to jump just because to make a quick decision, because we need to make a business decision. We believe that when your emotion is high, your intelligence are low. And when you just jump out of a company and they fail you or something bad happens, your emotion's really high and you're trying to scramble to make your best decision you can at that moment so your people can come with you. We were unwilling to do that. We said, you know what? We understand. We're going to lose a lot of our group. That's okay, because we want to make the right decision, because we're tired of renting. We were looking for a home. Well, we were looking at another company. We got flown into Utah, looking at a different company, another network marketing company entirely. And what happened was a friend of Paul's knew of a company called Synergy Worldwide. I knew of a gentleman named Dan Higginson, and what an amazing guy this was. And he had founded a company called Synergy, started out in Japan. And did we know of a company called Nature Sunshine? And at the time, yeah, we knew who Nature Sunshine was, but we sure didn't know who Synergy was. And we thought, wow, that's odd. We kind of knew how Nature Sunshine operated, but we said, you know what, let's get on the phone. Let's get on the phone with Dan. We got on the phone call with Dan Higginson. I don't know if you guys had an opportunity to be on the phone with Dan or hear Dan speak live, but when you have a chance to be around him, he's infectious, and you can feel his passion and how much he cares about people. And so that was undeniable. We heard his vision. We believed in his vision and what he saw, and we basically hooked our star to his wagon and rode it through the last 10 years of building our Synergy business. I'd like to tell you, in our first year that we were millionaires. We weren't. It's been a long road, but we stayed true to our ethics. We stayed true to ourselves, and we kept on the path, and we kept going and going each and every day, even when though it seemed the darkest at different times throughout this journey. Because anytime you come with this, a company that's very young and growing with them, there's going to be bumps in the road. But we never lost sight of our vision. We never lost sight of Dan Higginson's vision. And this company is morphed into something that is beyond my wildest dreams. In fact, it's the very reason that we joined this business, Synergy Worldwide, is where we're at today. Paul and I always talk about this. This is the very reason we joined. It's because where Synergy is at today and what they're doing, changing lives for people's overall health and wellness. And not only that, giving people a true track to run on, to create a second income, a retirement income. And for most people, maybe it's a first income, or maybe they're ready to build their fortune like Paul and I were ready to do some 10 years ago. So I hope you enjoy a few of my words that I said today. I hope to speak with you real soon again. Hope to see you at an event. And with that, we'll talk to you real soon.